The night it happened, the rain wouldn't stop. It drummed on the roof, on the windows, on the world, like the sky itself couldn't hold back the weight anymore. I remember standing in the kitchen, arms crossed, staring at the clock glowing 11:47 p.m. He was late again. Ethan always came home late lately. Work, he said. Just one more project, baby, he'd tell me, pressing a tired kiss against my forehead before leaving at dawn. This promotion will fix everything. But everything was already breaking. When he finally walked in that night, drenched, exhausted, eyes sunken but still gentle, I should have said thank you. I should have seen what it was doing to him. But instead, I heard my own voice slice through the quiet. You missed dinner. Again. He paused by the door, setting his briefcase down slowly. His hands trembled as he unlaced his shoes. I know, he said softly. I'm sorry. I tried. Tried. Snap. Ethan, trying isn't enough anymore. You're never here. You're always. He looked up then, eyes glassy, rain dripping from his hair. I'm doing this for us, Claire. But I didn't see us anymore. I saw an empty house, a cold bed, dinners for one. I saw a man who had become a stranger, and I blamed him for it. So I said it. The words I can never take back. Maybe I'd rather have someone who's actually here than someone who just pays the bills. For a long, suffocating second, he just stood there, as if I'd struck him across the face. Then he looked away, jaw tight, and whispered, Someone who's actually here, huh? That was the moment I lost him. I just didn't know it yet. He left the next morning before I woke up. No note, no text, just silence. The first day I was angry. Good, I thought. Maybe now he'll see what neglect feels like. The second day I was anxious. I called his office, but they said he'd taken personal leave. The third day I was scared. I drove to his parents' house. Nothing. Checked his gym, his favorite diner, even the park where he used to run when he needed to think. Still nothing. It wasn't until the fourth night that I got the message. It was from a number I didn't recognize. You should stop calling him. He's safe. He just needs space. My chest tightened. I called back immediately, but the call didn't go through. When I tried again, the number was gone. Deleted, deactivated, something. That's when I noticed the smell on our sheets. A faint trace of perfume that wasn't mine. The first time I suspected, I told myself it was paranoia. The woman from his office, Hannah, had always been friendly, maybe a little too much. She'd texted him about work stuff at odd hours, laughed too hard at his jokes when I met her at the company Christmas party. I'd asked him once months ago, "Do you ever think she likes you?" He'd chuckled. "Claire, she's 26 and dating some photographer. Don't start imagining things." I'd let it go. Because Ethan wasn't that man. Except now, his phone was gone, his things were gone, and the last thing he'd said before disappearing was someone who's actually here. And suddenly, my own words came back to choke me. 3 weeks passed before I saw him again. I was walking out of the grocery store, clutching a bag of things he used to love. Coffee beans, his favorite cereal, habits I couldn't let go of, when I saw him by the parking lot. He looked lighter. Not happy, but unburdened. He was laughing, head tilted slightly, the way he used to when something genuinely amused him. And she was there, Hannah, standing too close, touching his arm when she spoke. For a moment I couldn't breathe. When he finally noticed me, the laughter froze on his lips. He blinked once, twice, and then his whole expression shifted. Guilt, pity, and something I couldn't name. I walked up to him, each step burning. "So this is where you've been?" Hannah glanced between us, panicked. I'll go wait in the car," she murmured, retreating quickly. Ethan exhaled. "Claire, it's not." "Don't," I whispered. "Don't tell me it's not what it looks like. I'm not an idiot." He rubbed his face, rain beginning to fall again, blurring the world around us. "I didn't plan this," he said. "After that night, after what you said, something in me broke. I was so tired of never being enough. So you ran to her." "I didn't run," he said quietly. "She was there. She listened. She didn't make me feel like a failure for trying. The words hit harder than any slap. I swallowed the rising sob and asked the question that had haunted me since that night. Did you love her? He looked at me for a long time before answering. No, he said. But she made me feel like I could still be loved. After that, I didn't see him again for a month. When he finally came by the house, our house, it was to collect the rest of his things. He looked thinner, eyes shadowed, movements slow. We didn't speak much. Just silence and the rustle of boxes. At one point I blurted, I didn't mean it, you know. What I said that night. He stopped packing and turned to face me. Maybe not. But you meant how you felt. I was angry, I said. Lonely. I know, he murmured. So was I. The quiet that followed was unbearable. Then he sighed and said softly, I was breaking myself trying to give you the life I thought you wanted. The house, the trips, the safety. I didn't realize what you really wanted was me. By the time I understood that, I didn't know how to come back. Tears slipped down my cheeks. You could have come back anyway. He shook his head. No. You deserve someone who doesn't need to be reminded he's loved. And I deserve to stop feeling like I'm failing the person I love most. That was the last thing he said to me before walking out. Months passed. Seasons turned. Life dulled into quiet routines. I learned to cook for one. Learned to sleep on one side of the bed. Learned that sometimes the worst part of heartbreak isn't the leaving. It's the echoes afterward. Sometimes I'd catch myself humming when I cleaned. Then stop mid-tune because it was his song. Sometimes I'd reach for my phone to text him something funny. Then remember, there was no us anymore. I didn't hear from him again until nearly a year later. It was a simple envelope in the mail. No return address. Inside a folded letter. His handwriting. Claire. I thought I'd write instead of call. Some things are easier on paper. I wanted you to know I'm doing better. I moved out of the city. Started working on smaller projects. I still think about you. Not in the way that hurts anymore, but in the way that makes me grateful. You loved me when I didn't love myself enough. I just couldn't see it until too late. You once said you'd rather have someone who's here. I hope you've found that now. E. I read it twice, then a third time, tears blurring the words. Because I hadn't found anyone else. I wasn't sure I ever would. And yet, somehow that letter felt like closure, the kind that doesn't heal the wound but lets it stop bleeding. People always think betrayal is about cheating. But sometimes it's about silence. About the words you didn't say, or the ones you said too sharply. I betrayed him long before he betrayed me. Not with someone else, but with indifference. He gave everything trying to make me happy. I made him believe he never could. And in the end, he broke himself to provide. While I broke us with a single careless sentence. If I could go back, I'd tell him what I really meant that night. That I didn't want anyone else. I just wanted him to stay. But you don't get do-overs in love. Only memories that whisper what you lost, every time it rains.